There's a deer out the back window. There's like 7 of them. They're up a lot closer a little while ago. My lenses were in pretty poor condition, and there weren't any gaskets on them. So I ordered new lenses. Very nice. I like them. But here's the gaskets they sent me. Look how cheesy these are. Like shit crap. And on top of that, look at it. They don't even. There's no way that these fit. There's no way that they fit these lenses at all. Look at it. I don't know what the heck. Next time I order that, they're like $3 a piece. I'm not gonna send them back. But going through George's archive of parts, there was one rubber. I go, oh, that's cool. That's great. I got one original. Looks like nice shape. And I tried it out. It just sticks out way too thick. When you put the lens, after all the lenses are in, it's just off. Ugh. Look at that. It does not look right. I don't know what that's about either. It's too thick. So I made my own. Some thinner ones. I did put a little oil on these. The screws seem a little long. There is a little curvature to these, just a little slight bit. But I think that looks nice.
Now I'm going to wire brush the hinges to the trunk deck lid. They were in pretty good condition, but they did show a little bit of surface rust from years of moisture. So I'm going to clean them up real good and give them a dust and a silver paint just to preserve them. Now I'm going to paint the hardware, give them a light dusting of silver paint that fastens down the rear deck trunk lid.
On my Avanti, when I got it, it did have okay lenses, and it had these on here. See how thick that is? And they have a little beveled edge on it. I go, man, that looked on the car. You can imagine how thick, and it's just pretty darn ugly. I go, man, Studebaker did a pretty crappy job of that. Only to find out when I was going through George's archives of parts, I did find an original one. It was in rough shape. I go, oh, that's what they really look like. Thinner, and I go, and then I go, now it makes sense, you see, and then it was a lot thinner. So somebody went to a lot of trouble to make these up. They did a pretty good job, where I almost thought maybe it was the way they were from the factory. Poor old George. I did see, like, also, though he had one new lens and what was it, one rubber. Then I found, it said this here, Studebaker Hawks screw kits, yeah. And then there was these little round, see that right there? And even had some of the original screws in the bag there. Poor old George. Must be he was also working on a Hawk. Must have been an earlier one, but mine doesn't have that type of lens on my 59. In George's archive of hardware, in this nice can, were all these screws and miscellaneous items. It's too bad, look at this, was busted here. That's George's car. Electric window thing. I don't know what these things were all about, but we'll save them. Does have the right hardware on there, whatever it went to. And just the sheet metal screws. I organized them, looking them over. Here's some machined thread bolts. I don't know what the heck this thing is. That can't be to the car at all. And I don't know. I don't think, is there anyone in a car that has something like this? A fastener, plastic fastener. Excited about this because, you know, I put them all on there. 4 or 5 wing nuts. And competition, they'll knock you off 1 or 2 points just for the wrong type of wing nut. And I was very excited about these. Right away I go, hey, these look familiar. See that? They're brand new. There's 3 of them. Here's the 3 I took off of my car. Really rough, and they were real difficult. They hold this, the license plate mount on the vehicle. So I can't wait to look that over more carefully. I'm not sure if they're exact reproduction or not, because mine are so rough. And lastly, I was really excited about finding, I've already acid dipped them and wire brushed them nice. So a Phillips head type 1/4-inch machine bolts, which are good for holding down the voltage regulator and some of the harnesses on the driver's side wheel well. And I even got excited about this little guy. I'm missing one of these, which is for holding down these fasteners for the gas line. Very excited. I guess I'm happy in life that I get such enjoyment out of just picking through this stuff and, oh, look at this. Oh, gee, I need one of those. All right, well, thank you, George. I found a couple more things I could use there. Oh, geez, maybe this is a good time. I've been wanting to do a little fastener seminar. I feel bad if I badmouth somebody and don't have all the facts, but these are the Hillman. I got to talk to Mr. Hillman, if you're out there, the maker of these fastener products. This is a 3/8 bolt. These are supposedly 5/16 flat washers. Now look at this. That's supposed to be a 5/16. Here's a 5/16 bolt. Look at that slop. Isn't that awful? It's terrible. Look how crappy that is. I don't know how to keep explaining it. If you do not have a washer that properly fits the bolt, you're not adhering 2 objects together properly. I guess that's one way I could put it. So this is supposedly a 5/16 washer, but yet it nicely fits on a 3/8 bolt, and it's a little bit of wiggle at that. Here is a 1/4-inch washer, Mr. Hillman. Look how sloppy. Oh my God, that's horrible. Guess what? But that nicely fits a 5/16 bolt. With a little bit of slap, but yeah. I did find this little quarter. This is what I'll call a 1/4-inch flat washer in my my washer box. This one is supposedly a 1/4, and it does seem to fit a little nicer. Well, you got the gist of it. So, Mr. Hillman, get a hold of me if there's something I'm overlooking here, because that's something that always frustrates me when I go to the hardware store. I ordered a new clutch fan. My old one, actually, I think that's the way they're supposed to work properly. A little bit of drag there. I like the looks of it. I think it looks kind of cool. It even says patented in USA, but also says patented in Canada, 1961. So that's pretty cool. I go, that might actually be the one with the car when it was new. Really nothing wrong with it, but I got all caught up in the moment and ordered a new one. I think it was like $80. Then I get it back, and yeah, look at this. Got these little, see, universal slots there. See, unlike the other one. The fan, and look at it. Here's the front of this. Ooh, it's awful. I don't even know what it says on it. U.S. MW. Maybe actually it was made here. Same kind of drag, a little more maybe. And it looks somehow reminds me of when you take a speaker apart. It just got that ugly. Ugh. You know what? That was like, I think, $80, and I don't think I'm going to use it. I'm going to clean this up a little bit more. And my original had these, and there again, those nice factory Ninja flat washers, lock washers, I'll call them. Though I'd rather have lock washers, but I'm going to put those back on. The new one, the bolts came with it. They don't have any kind of lock washer with them. I should now. Starting to run out of money. I should try to send that back. I hate doing that. The transmission is officially took to a transmission somebody supposedly reputable. Yeah, it's going to be $1,000, $1,500. I'm running out of funds, and I'd like to get my new wheels and tires. Even if I did install that on my vehicle, you wouldn't even see the front of this. You wouldn't even visually see it. But you know what? I think I'll just wrap that up, and we'll save that with George's car. You know, Mr. Hillman, if you put a couple of those sloppy 5/16 flat washers on a 5/16 bolt and a couple of lock nuts on there, you can make it like a baby rattle for one of your grandkids. Of course, they probably could swallow it. What do you think about what do you think of my seminar on washers there, Rochester? Made pretty good sense to me, boss. And when you're working with square type washers, here's one here, an example right here. See how these are? How they turn around like that. See that? Have a little bit of class. I'm going to tighten them up. Have them nice and even and straight one way. Do that. Don't tighten them down also. There you go. And that look nice. Yeah. Uniform. That's what we're looking for. I almost threw this out a number of times. Just a plastic lid. I think it was for a cooler. See, you got a little thing there without a whole cooler. Then look at it. I found this out. Look how it fits nice on there. See that? Worked out pretty good. It's a new shop tool. I've already pre-waxed this here and there. Ooh, very nice. Originally, I believe the photos that this fan was originally painted orange, which I kind of thought would be a nice contrast with all the other colors under the hood. Chevy orange engine paint. Did sandblast this fan and did a nice job on it. Use this clear with the harder. I hate keep going on about using rattle can paint like this. I forgot, I was going to warn you that you can cheat a little bit using this black Rust-Oleum spray can paint. And the clear hardener nicely goes over it. I love to make sure it dries good. But I did have an issue with the buckets, headlight buckets. I cheated and used a spray can on those. And for some reason, whether it's because they're made out of galvanized or aluminum or something there, whatever material they're made of, they curdled real bad after I put the hardener on over the black, over those headlight buckets. So something about a reaction of that metal. What a mess, because I had to use lacquer thinner and wash them all down real good again. I'm all sandblasted. And then I used the automotive Mason black enamel. I've done the same thing on other vehicles, on my vet, but now they're all with the bugs and pits. But anyway, I was doing up next once. Okay, what the hell? Here, hold this, would you please? Thank you. I already put a drop of oil on each one of these threads a little bit. These are always kind of funky, but it is the way I do it. Good to use my old clutch. Fan clutch. Oh, this is one of my favorite. I love it. One of my favorite half-inch wrenches. Ah. Man, that's beautiful. I think I'll sit tonight, watch TV, and hold that. Maybe polish it some more. Now that the hinges are all assembled, and the springs are stretched apart nicer, so I can get in there better, and the bolts are, I've got little chips on them here or there from assembly. And this will be the position of the trunk when it's open, which is the only time you're really going to see it. See what I mean? So you won't the trunk's down and you're inside. You're going to see where the paint didn't hit it. That makes sense. Let's give her one more shot. When I get painting clear, there's all something left over in the gun. Not sure how it will react. We have them clear later on. After it sets and really dries good. We'll try a little bit on it. Make sure it doesn't curdle. Maybe there's some judge who'll want to crawl in the trunk with a flashlight and tell you to shut it so you can see how see where the paint didn't go on. I have to apologize to Goober and Gomer for calling them dopes because I thought that they didn't put this motor mount bolt back in when they changed the engine. Only going through my inventory, I found this my ground cable, and there it is. Look, I took the motor mount bolt out myself. See it there? And the other end, I still got that's a 5/16. They have a tapped and drilled and tapped 5/16 thread there for this bolt. Okay, well, sorry, Goober and Gomer. In George's archives, I did find brand new 10 lugs and lug nuts. They just have like a little surface rust on them from poor storage. I cleaned one up with a wire brush. Come back pretty nice. Though I am going to go for this look, the Keystone type wheel look. I am going to also sandblast all the original rims, get some tires, and that way I could have the best of both worlds. Some of my lugs were kind of rounded off, so I got 10 new ones. I am going to paint these up because I'm going to be doing a lot of painting here shortly. My brake caliber issue has been resolved, and they're shipping them back to me. Apparently the crossover pipes were fitted up with the wrong fittings on one side. I'm assuming metric. And I'd like to know the rest of that story, but anyhow, so they're coming back, so we got to assemble those. While I'm waiting for that, let's get. Well, the trunk's been bothering me, so yes, I've already started. I wet sanded with 320, everything you see there, and then I'm following it up now with some 1000. I love to get the hose out and everything, but I'm just trying to just get a little bit wet, and then I sand away. Getting through there's like say a light coating of black over the brown primer. So we're just cleaning it up pretty much. Of course, I wish I could. I wish the water would drain out because I would love to rinse this out good. Golly, Goober, why don't we punch a hole right down through here and I'll drain all the water out of there. Well, after I sand it one more time, we'll clean it, and I'll sham it so it's really clean. I'm going to spray all that black, and then I'm going to change things up. I'm going to put carpet on the sides in pretty good shape. And I'm going to cut a rubber mat to fit the bottom of mine. Sometimes I carry stuff in there, out and about with the car, maybe yard sale or pick up something on the side of the road. So I'm going to have a nice rubber mat when we get all done. Oh yes, from a subscriber brought to my attention the words of the effect of... Dear Ira, you big dope. If you're checking out George's tire iron, why didn't you just check it out on his vehicle while you were right there? Okay, thank you. You got me on that one. I guess I was all caught up in the Cinderella story where I had wanted to bring her Cinderella's tire iron up to the shop here and see if it fit. Well, as you know, it's too small. I knew that rubber thing is something, I don't know what that's about. Some vehicles that might have been put those on there, the car company. Well, anyhow, I do have quite a bunch of tire irons that we'll go through sometime in the future here, which are kind of collectible too. And oh yes, my book, got to plug the book. My book is officially available. Where's this? Bookshop Santa Cruz, California. So I got my book into their bookshop. Santa Cruz, Bookshop Santa Cruz. Nice place too, I might add. And friendly people. And I got my starter back from Strobel Electric. Pretty nice guy. Bill was almost $400, but yeah, he pretty much showed me what was going on. Almost everything was just about wore out inside. And he's just pretty straightforward, good guy, trusting. So we got that to paint also. I'm going to prep her up and make a little primer on it first. So when we do our black parts. So bear with me on this Avanti restoration crap. After a while, I get caught up. We'll do some short stories. My trunk is prepped and ready for paint. So now I'm working on the starter a little bit. Every mechanic try to always save like one longer nail on your fingers for picking and for all sorts of uses. See here, my nail works pretty good. I want to tape off this identification tag, so that my nail works pretty good for that. And then go with a good razor blade. I will be priming the starter, and I am going to use the good Mason black enamel for the trunk and this starter. And I got my calipers all assembled. I actually painted them again, but with a touch up with a rattle can. So I'm going to clear them. Hopefully a clearer take to it. Another little dilemma. I really needed some new shocks. These are in pretty bad shape. I was hoping the new ones would have been I didn't want them black. I want a different color to contrast with the undercarriage of the vehicle. So I'm really going to paint those, but I'm not sure what color yet. light coat first. Make it tacky. Tacky like my videos. I've already sprayed the first coat on some items. These are the battery L hooks, we'll call them. Here's a couple lines in the carburation area. This one's a vacuum. What's the other one's kind of... and here's a couple more. That's how I do it. Put a wire through it. Look at one's a choke, I believe, and fuel. Then there's some previously painted black pieces, as you recall. Windshield wiper. Let's see, the rubber mount bumpers for top of the frame. What else is here? Oh, that bracket. Remember the bracket? She's going to get some clear. Oh, yeah, here's something new. A little, it was in the trunk. I unscrewed it. A latch. And now those are the... There you go. There's some of that there. Oh, the starter's a big deal. Look, I hung it up there high. It's heavy. If I had to get around it real good. I have one coat on it right now, black. And there's my calipers ready to go. I'm going to clear one side of this. Goes on the back side of one of the heads. There's another line. That was a gas line. To be cleared. Oh, the shocks. I went with the gold. Even Jacob remarked, like, maybe we should have went orange. But now they're ready for a shot of clear.